Guys and dolls, Freedom Dad here. For those that are not watching it live, it was all good. So let me get set up here. Who's first in? Turn that bad boy down. Pick C40, first in the house, mate. Well done. Well done. Right. I'll leave this around a touch. Okay. Patty. Some new faces in. Okay. Patty, how you doing? My reborn account. How you doing? Evening, Freedom Dad. 404 Michelle, good to see you. Do I get a prize? He does. You get the loyalty badge. I'll need to get some badges sorted out. Murphstar, good evening, mate. Chris, good to see you, mate. Alan Taggart, how you doing? Hello, Freedom Dad and team. Yeah, team just fed Freedom Dad. Steak and chips with mushrooms and peas. Absolutely dynamite, guys. So my wee belly's full and I'm happy as a pig in you know what. You rang, Lord? Michelle, let me get my other phone. Oh. Make sure. Logical Captain, hello mate, how you doing? Using my first name. Thank you. Window Man, good evening, Freedom Dad. Hope you're good. Good evening, chat. Patriotic Media, big up, Patriotic Media. Hi, how am I doing? That's a laugh. Alan, get in touch, mate. I've told you, email me. You gotta email me, son. Fuck's sake, Aldi Badge, you're fast turning me into. Good one, mate. Pixie 40 says, fuck's sake, a loyalty badge, you're fast turning me into a loyalist. Kaz, good to see you. John Rankin in the house. All right, bro. Good to see you, bro. Fucking phone's going to go mental, isn't it? BG, good to see you, mate. Nissan Dory. Yeah, I'm not too sure, Kaz. But I'm working on it. Don't worry about that. Like, when you've only got one relative in the world, you're going to do everything to protect them. This is what they forget. This is what they all forget. All right, let me see. I'm sure. There we go. There we go. This is who I'm trying to get a hold of. Pixie 40, big up Peter Media. Hey up Freedom Dad. Hello, John Downs. Good to see you, mate. Thank you so much, mate, for coming in. Let me see. John saying hello to Michelle. Don't have his normal number. WhatsApp's a nightmare to get a hold of people on. Okay. Who's in would have his number? No, they're all old numbers. Sounds gone. Is it? Are we good? Are we good, guys? me put this back in. I'm going to tell you who that was. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry about that, guys. We're good. Okay. Let me just send him a message. Tell him the phone out number again. Turn that down, guys. All right, sound is good. Thank you. I have the number. That was a song. Fucking hell, John. That's a tricky one, man. Sorry, I've got him anyway. He should have thingied now. We'll see. I can't tell you when he comes on because he uses a different name, and I don't want to put his handle and his real name together, guys. But he nearly brought the live down. So hope you're all good. Just J. Belfast. Freedom Dad, why Billy Moore was okay. It was his first time in Belfast. Them tour guides are a blame. I meant Billy on his own for play. Yeah, mate, I've met Billy. I know Billy. It's not about Billy Moore. It wasn't about him. As I made it clear, mate, you know. Yeah, it's just about how it was handled. You know what I mean? And just to let other YouTubers and anybody else that thinks they can come over, you know, if they're going to come over and do stuff like that, they've got to be aware of what they're doing. That's all that video was about, bringing awareness to the YouTube world. Like I say, no having to go with Billy. It was never about that. I made that clear in the video, like, you know, so. Yes, what flag are we talking about, Michelle? What do you think about no flags or lamps? It will never happen. No, it will never happen, mate. They'll just start fucking plastering stuff. I know what'll happen. I've already, we've been speaking about it all day. They'll just plaster the whole area with slogans over every single wall, and the council will be non-stop trying to take stuff down. And when they take it down, they'll be plastering more slogans up, and it'll just go on and on and on right through Belfast. You know, it's easier than putting flags up on lampposts. You know what I mean? So there's always a way to attack them back when they attack us, and there's lots of people talking about it. There's lots of people, you know, it is what it is, guys. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And it's nothing about it's. This is about Islam again. This is about immigration. I don't care what anybody says. Whenever they talk about offending people, please believe me, never ever get mistaken of what they're talking about. And I'm going to be bringing a video tomorrow. So I am. A good video tomorrow. I've got it ready to go. All I've got to do now is put my bit into it. So I've got all the clips I want. And then I've got it all ready to go on the editing. And then, hello, Freedom Dad. No messing tonight, promise. Right, John Rankin, I want you to keep an eye in the doghouse, right? Because he's on probation. So he is. He's on probation, mate. Roll on Friday. Yes, mate. What do you work at, buddy? Logical Captain. Kirk. Local homes for local people. Yes, John Rankin. 100%, mate. 4 fine. Hey, bar. Thank you, John. All right. Mother is keep an eye on in the doghouse tonight. Like I say, he's on probation. We've had words. So we have. We had words. In the pinkies as well. And we're in the headquarters. He was called the headquarters, so he was after the other night. You know what I mean, guys? But yeah, he's a good lad. He's one of my nearest and dearest. I can tell you that now. Like, that's why I trusted him with that bit of information. And he failed me miserably. I have, Michelle. I have. I've seen it. No risk, no reward. I'm good, Ragnar. I'll share something with you tonight. You know, 83, and you are my most loyal. So I think it's time. Fuck, I told you so. what's been going on with me. I'm not going to go into the way. You know that the lucky thing's an absolute nightmare right now. And if I thought she was in trouble before, it's like 100 times worse now for me. But I am taking. I did. I am taking appropriate measures. Please believe me. And there's no fight like that I have in for my wee lucky, as you can imagine. She's the only relative I have. You know what I mean? Everybody else is feeling her. So yeah. But like I say, I've got the capabilities, I've got the intelligence, and I've got the love in my heart to do what I need to do. And nobody's going to stop me. That's the thing. My wee girl, guys. My wee girl. Haven't seen her in a very long time. Haven't touched her over 7 months. Month. As you know, the attempts I've made to try and see her for no reason, like absolutely no reason for it, apart from, as we know, maybe a new boyfriend or other reasons. But we're going to get the bottom of it all. But I've done everything I can legally now to make sure that if anything goes wrong, there's enough people going to be held accountable. James Gahill, good to see you. Are you slagging off our GA? I don't know what GA is. I don't know what that is, mate. Good evening, bro. Good evening, James. Good to see you, mate. Dads have rights too. Yeah, you better believe it. I'm on the birth certificate, and I'm gonna be demanding equal rights, guys, as a father. Hey, John, don't let me get out of control, or I will be in trouble. Right. It will end well, Freedom Dad. Oh, I know it will. Oh, I know it will. Hey all on County Gains. Hey all on County Gains. The library. A toddler was almost abducted by the usual monster. Yeah, well there we've had an Afghanistani boat. One of the ones that came in the boats from Afghanistan. They travelled through Europe to get to here. Has just been found guilty of the rape of a 12-year-old, which should be torture. You know what I mean? It should be torture, guys. But yeah, that's relevant to what I'm bringing tomorrow. It's a bit of an eye opener. A lot of guys in Northern Ireland will know about this, but I think it's time to highlight it. It's been a long time, and it'll be a wee blast, a wee memory from the past. And it's quite relevant to the day, believe it or not. It's 11, 12 years old, and you know, I think most unionists anyway, guys in the Protestant side and Catholics will remember this, and I'm just going to bring it back to the forefront because it deserves to be brought back to the forefront. Um, but yeah, these are going to enjoy it. I think I mean. Concretes what we say, what we think, what we talk about today. Um, you know, with the same slurs that come with it from the left and everybody, the ones that don't have children and don't care about the future and that just want to call us all far right and racist and hateful and haters and all the rest of it. And oblivious, like not even wanting to pay attention to what's going on in England and Ireland, and what I mean, totally blinkers on, using their empathy to help destroy our country. You know, Obviously we're not going to allow it. You know what I mean? I'm getting so much support on Facebook. It's amazing, from both sides of the community. It's quite remarkable, the comments and stuff. And you guys as well. Some of the comments from you guys are quite moral boosting. Some of the things that you say are just remarkable, absolutely remarkable, and it is humbling. You know, um, how you comment about stuff and what you think of me. So yeah, family court. Family court is a bunch of balls. Shit. Yeah, yeah, I know. But I've got a lot. I'm not on my own. This is the thing. I've got a lot of support from a lot of people, and yeah, I'm not going to say too much. Well, I'm going to take you on the journey, like I do with my life. You know what I mean? I've took you through a lot. It's took you through the depressions and the ups and downs, and losing my wife, and mental health, and how I dealt with it, and you've been there right from the very start. You know, um, been emotional online. The walks and talks, talking about dealing with losing my mum, losing my mother-in-law, losing my foster mum, losing my wife. I've there's nobody's been down more times than me. But the thing is every time I get up, I get stronger and stronger, and I wear my trauma like armor. So nothing's going to stop me. These guys aren't going to stop me. These people right now who are trying to carry on the destruction of what I believe in, hiding things and telling lies to the professionals. They're not going to stop me, you know, because where I'm sitting right now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only one who cares about my daughter. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? What I've got, the messages I've been getting, you know, being told I'm a joke and stuff like that, and not understanding, and I've got evidence here, you know what I mean? It's all there in black and white. I'm not making shit up, you know what I mean? It's not nice. I understand some people might not want to believe it, but this isn't a time to be telling lies or backing people up, or we need to stay in the truth. There's a little girl involved here, and her protection is paramount. And I like to think everybody eventually will get on the same page. I'm now thinking that the UK should pull out of all charities that are abroad and withdraw, fucking, you better believe it, from all so-called wars, etc. And we can do more for our people. Charity being as a home. But yeah, it's frightening the amount of money. I've put a post out a couple of times about this kind of thing. But Kirsty, so we got 98. You only hit 100. So I've been keeping a wee secret from you, and it's nothing. I don't want anybody thinking, because it's nothing at the minute. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy, feeling strong. This is probably the strongest and healthiest I've felt in a very long time. And it is going to be coming out, whatever way, whatever happens. But so I have been going through some stuff with doctors and hospitals with the fucking coughing, and what we thought was pneumonia and all the rest of it. So obviously, because it's been going on for like 3 months, the doctors are more or less on the way of fucking trying to tell me it's quite possibly. I even struggle to say it because I feel absolutely brand new. Quite possibly could be lung cancer. So I have went for the CT scans and everything, and tomorrow is D-Day. So at the end of the day, tomorrow's D-Day. You know what I mean? It's going to be coming out tomorrow anyway, one way or the other. So I wasn't going to hide it from you. Stuff like this needs to be spoke about and be open about. I have been in extreme amount of pain. I don't know if any of you have noticed it when I've been doing lives. I've been holding my side. Fucking Lindsay made me laugh too many times at the hingy, but at mostly Mill. But yeah, it's not 100%. You know what I mean? This is what the doctors think with what they've got so far, the X-rays, and just with the pain I'm in. But I have to say the pain is going away. I have been prayed on. I have been prayed for by my church. Healers have, I believe, done their thing. And I'm pretty confident tomorrow I'm going to go in and get the all clear. Like I say, I have faith in God, and I believe that, like I say, I have no fear. Like I said, like I've told people close to me, like a few people here that are very close to me know about this. The first thing I thought about was being with my mum. That was the first thing came into my head. My mum died of lung cancer, so she died in her 40s. So I should have knew better. Been smoking since I was 10, 11 years old, maybe earlier. Around about 10 years old. And so I've always expected stuff like this. I'm not stupid. So, it's not a shock to me. But, this is the problem with Lucky. I need to make sure now that my wee girl is safe if anything ever happens to me. And I never really thought about that because I thought she was safe. I really did. I never thought I would be reading what I'm reading from people and all the stuff that I'm getting sent. I'm absolutely in shock, and I've just been sitting back, relaxing about it all, and thinking everything was fine and everything was okay. Even though I was seeing the alarm, but I knew just no getting pictures, no getting video calls. You know what I mean? I knew something wasn't right. You know what I mean? And other things that were really strange. It's totally out of character with some people, and then it wasn't until like obviously the bank details come in with this character, and then I googled the name, put his face up, and got all these messages about who he really is, and having that conviction, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say too much, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was fucking it was in a wake up call. It was a wake up call, guys. And even with that, I'm the only one that's worried. You know what I mean? Everybody else is in denial. Everybody else is denying it and trying to hide it and trying to pretend the authorities that no, it's. And I've got it in black and white from many different people. It's crazy. So I've done what I need, what any father will do whenever he feels as if everybody else is letting his daughter down. So you can imagine. equal rights. So I know. So glad, feeling good. Yeah, 100%. Feeling top of the world. This is the best I've felt. You know, like I say, I went to church on Sunday, and the pastor and his wife, you know, put their hands on me and you know prayed for the pain to go away, and fucking, you know, I'm here today with and no pain. You know what I mean? And up to that moment, guys, you don't know that pain and the painkillers have been taken and agony and trying to hide it and lives and stuff like that. You know, there's no pain like it. I actually broke down last Monday, and it was like, you know, it wasn't because, like, obviously it wasn't long after being told. You know what I mean? But you know, it was like, and even at that, you know, you think the worst, you know what I mean? But that was the pain. Nobody tells you about the pain, guys. You know, if you smoke, like, you know, and I've been told not to stop smoking just now. You know what I mean? So that's why you still see me smoking. Obviously, doctor's orders have told me, and that's why you've seen me drinking a Guinness. You know what I mean? So, there is things in place as well that I'm going to be taking if it is that. But like I say, I'll find out tomorrow. But the pain, like, yeah, I broke down. To be honest with you, you know, it did. There's no two ways. I'm going to be totally honest with you because there was no pain like this. Like I say, you could have put my hand on the floor and beat my hand with hammers and put nails to them, and it would not come near the pain that I was feeling in my right lung. And what the problem was like, I was thinking, I can't deal with this. I can't do this. I cannot go forward. There's no way. I don't think any man could go, or any woman could go through life without pain. You know, you would end it. You would end it. It was fucking unbelievable. Like I say, the pain's been there, coughing, sneezing, laughing, fucking everything, man. It's just absolute agony. Went to church on Sunday, and I told the pastor about it, you know, and said to him, like, you know, I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling with this pain. And he was like, right, fucking, and he called his wife in, and the two of them put their hands on me, and they said some words, man. And you know, I'm just going to be honest with you, and I don't care who thinks I'm mad or what, if you don't believe in God or whatever, but this is life. This is real life. My platform is real life. You know, I felt the heat come over my body. Like, you know, they put their hands, you know, their hand was right at the one spot in my back. You couldn't, it was like straight onto it. You know what I mean? Out of everywhere, straight on that one spot. And like I say, every day since then, it's been getting better. And today is the first time I've got no pain. Nothing. I can cough, I can sneeze, you know, I can, everything's back to normal, you know, for the first time in 3 months, you know. So, you know, you can take from that what you want. I know what I'm taking from it, you know. That's my faith. If you don't have faith, you know, it's the only way it works, guys, you know what I mean? So, yeah, tomorrow I will be getting the results. I'm going to see a specialist, and I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give too much away of where I'm going and stuff like that. But these guys are top notch, and I've got people going with me and supporting me, and you know, I'm very very lucky. I'm a very lucky man to have the support that I have, guys. I really have, and I don't want you thinking that anything bad, because Freedom Dad has got this. Freedom, even if the worst comes out tomorrow, Freedom Dad will still have it. Freedom Dad's on top of his game, always on top of his game. And I've got guys in England, guys in Scotland. Some of the people are really close. I've got one guy spending £1,500 for treatment for me out of his own pocket, if it comes to it. You know what I mean? And there's other stuff that people have got me. I'm not going to talk about it on here because I don't know the legalities of it, but there's stuff out there that can. I'm not even going to say the word CURE, but there is things out there that I believe will work and can work, and I've researched it, and my friends have researched it. So, you know, yeah. But I've been doing a good job hiding it, haven't I? Fucking an agony, like fucking laughing and all sorts, man. It's been an absolute nightmare. Pain. My wife is on morphine patches and other painkillers. Lucky she is a fighter. I would have give up. Yeah, the pain, the pain that they don't talk about the pain, guys. This is the thing. They show you the pictures on the cigarette packets, and they tell you this, that, and about lung cancer and mouth cancer and throat cancer, but they don't talk about the pain. They don't talk about the pain, and you need to know it is the most painful thing in the world. You know, and I've taken beatings. I've been through all sorts of stuff, and there's nothing even comes close to it. Cheers, logical captain. Yes, I know, Michelle. That's what I'm talking about. I've got one of my guys are on that, so they are. And like I say, I'm very lucky to have good friends around me. Obviously, I've had to tell certain people who are very close to the Freedom Dad team, as you can imagine. Also I didn't want to tell too many people because I didn't want people worrying about me and acting weird around me. CJ knew, and I have to tell you this now, right? Fucking CJ, right? So CJ obviously, I told CJ early on and that, and I said to him like, fucking, I'm not telling people because people look at you different and get on all weird and all that. And I swear to God, CJ is one of the one guys that I've never changed. I mean, I'd be in CJ's like fucking holding on to my ribs, like holding on to my lung, like in agony, laughing, and like, stop it, stop fucking making me laugh. You know what I mean? So fair play to CJ. You know what I mean? It's I needed that. I needed, my mate, like somebody around me. And my other mates know made a big deal in there. You know what I mean? But CJ's still taking the piss out of me, which is really really good. He's a good lad, so he is. He is a good lad. Instead of that, he's got no heart. You know what I mean? But bro also had cancer. Yep. So this is for entertainment. Big up. Good to see you, Rupert. Yeah, and like I say, there's a lot going on that I can't talk about with other patriots that are just breaking my heart. You know what I mean? It's not just me dealing with Lucky, and this is what you've got to understand, guys. When we're talking about this kind of thing, you've got to imagine what it's like for us men that have to go through these things for our daughters or our sons. You got to understand what we do, what we're called, what we're classed as. We're called far right, we're called racist. It doesn't matter how much evidence you bring. It doesn't matter how many times you say it. You listen. Yeah, I'm not here. I'm not hateful. I love every human being, but we cannot destroy ourselves with kindness. We cannot destroy ourselves with empathy. We cannot destroy our lands or the future of our lands or our children's futures just because we have to be nice. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, and this is one of them moments. We have to be cruel to be kind to our children, to our country, to our lands, to our traditions, to our cultures. We've got no choice because we've got the evidence of what's coming and what's happening. And some people just don't want to see the evidence. A lot of them don't have children. Some people just don't care. They have a hatred for the country. They have a hatred for Britain. They have a hatred for nationalism. They have a hatred for patriotism, and they just don't care. They know deep down that we're right, but they can get away with calling us far right and racist, and yeah, they will use it against us. And we've got a very close friend of mine who's a patriot right now. He is going through hell, so he is, and it's difficult. It's very difficult, and you have to take a back step. I'm not taking a back step. I'm sticking to my beliefs. I'm sticking to my beliefs, and I will do everything for my daughter. And please believe me, I will do everything for my daughter. But I'm not going to destroy the future for my daughter in the process. There's many other things I will be able to do, but I will never stop doing this, no matter what. I will keep being a patriot. Keep being a right wing activist, and I'll keep being a citizen journalist for my community. And you know, if it affects me, if I have problems with it, then we will go at it at a different angle. But no matter what happens, my daughter will be safe before I leave this planet, 107%. And yeah, she's the only thing I have in the world. She's the only relative I have in the world. You know, I don't have any aunties or uncles. You know, I don't have a. She doesn't have a granny or a granddad on my side or anything like that. It's just me. So I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fighting for all. I'm going to be fighting for my mum. I'm going to be fighting for all my ancestors around here. Because she's my girl, and that's what my mother would expect me to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they're in for a surprise. But yeah, everything's good, guys. Like I say, I don't want you fretting or worrying because I'm not. So there's no point. I don't want any fucking just everything normal. Tomorrow night, maybe a different different story. I might be sitting here bawling and greeting, but no, have my faith in God. I know everything's going to be okay. I'm quite sure he's all said this, that, and the other, pneumonia and pleurisy or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to go with that. You know, but to be honest, man, I've had good treatment. Doctors, I've had everything done. I've had two X-rays. I've now had a CT scan. I've had bloods taken twice and blood pressure taken every week, and all the things that they do, the checks, all the checks that they do, they measure your coughs and stuff like that. So yeah, listen to my chest. Everything's been really good. Been staying on top of it, staying on top of all that, and yeah, fucking, you do dealing with everything else as you can imagine, you know. So yeah, I'm just back. So there's a lot I'm dealing with right now as well, and that's one of the reasons why I've sort of been taking a wee step back as well, and saying, telling people about, like, Freedom Dad is taking a wee step back. You know what I mean? Because I just needed to make sure, I need to reevaluate things, and I need to do a lot more talking offline than I need to do online, and that's where we're at. Grab me on the week. Will do, mate. Will do. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that. Definitely. I was one of the boys wanting to come on me. So that's what I mean. Like, it's just support, it's amazing support from good guys, and we're like brothers. There's no two ways about it. We're all like brothers. Freedom Dad, when you went online, didn't, I was just thinking how well you were looking, good colour and all that. Surely a good sign. But anyway, wishing you the very best for tomorrow. Thank you, Archie. Thank you, Archie Gloom. Thank you so much, mate. Yeah, like I say, this is the best I've felt, and I mean this, guys. I'm going to tell you again. Since Sunday, since they they put their healing hands on me, every day's been getting better and better, and this is the first day where I actually feel on top of the world. You know, I can take a deep breath, nothing, cough, nothing. You know, everything is back to normal. You know, so that has to be a good sign. I'm standing behind you because and in spirit of all, thank you so much. My head's not in games, but I'm still here for you. I know that, mate. I know that. Oh, I know that, bro. I know that, bro. Sorry to hear that. Can't be easy, mate. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Oh, you're talking to the Reaper. Yeah. So yeah, like I say, some of you know, some of you didn't know. Obviously, people were around me that, because as it was getting closer to this, I need the people to be ready. You know what I mean? Um, it is. It is what it is. You know. I'm a big patriot in Northern Ireland, and a lot of people rely on me, as you see, whenever I left and over Christmas and New Year. And I didn't really realize how important a part I played in everything. It's, you don't realize, and it's not until I went away, and people miss me. You know what I mean? And that was a lesson that I learned. You know what I mean? I learned that lesson, and I've corrected it, guys. You know what I mean? I know who I am now. I know what I mean to the country. I know what I mean to the movement, and I'm no leader or anything like that, but I am a part of the jigsaw puzzle, like us all. And I think certain quite a lot is, and we're already missing one of the guys, and I mean, he's a big part of the jigsaw puzzle, and it's he's missed. He's missed. But like I say, excuse me, this is what they have. Like, this is anything they can use against us, guys, to shut us up. They will try and use me seeing my daughter now to shut me up, and I know that. They will. This will be what's coming, and because we've seen it with other guys, and it's 110%. 110%. There's no two ways about it. They will see me as some sort of whatever, and the fact that I can walk about my community in safety, um, and people are so coming up and giving me hugs and taking selfies and handing me cash and fucking all sorts, and free taxis and free Chineses. You know what I mean? It doesn't really make a difference. To them, they'll just say, "Oh, I don't even know what they'll say, because I can't put myself in their positions. You know what I mean? Because I am true to myself and true to everything I say. You know what I mean? It's the most important thing to me is being honest to you guys. It's why I don't make money from these platforms. It's just about being honest and trying to awaken everybody to understand that it's okay to say the things that I say. It's okay to say, okay, listen, I know these guys are needing help, but let's be real about it. There's plenty of places where they can get the help, and we're not fitted out for this. We're not that type of country, and as you see with the rape gangs, horrific, horrific what our government has let happen. And I always say every single one of these individual hundreds of thousands of children are never going to be seen ever again in their lives, and it's unforgivable. Both anybody that was involved in the government should be held accountable. It's unlawful what they've done. Letting these men in, and then we have one today, another Afghanistani getting found guilty for a 12-year-old. Fucking breaks your heart. This guy came over on a boat. that our government is let in to wander about our streets, you know? And I cover why they behave like that. We understand the psychology behind it, which is even worse, you know? Because I'm able to tell you what's going on in Afghanistan with the boy playing, what's going on in Pakistan with the street man, boys, 9 out of 10 street boys being raped. You know, we understand the culture of how they treat children. So why would they just be allowed to come here? Like they bring their culture, they bring their flags, they bring their Eid, their Ramadan, their traditions, they bring everything with them. So why would they not bring the gruesome stuff, the horrific stuff? You know, to us that's horrific. To them, it's nothing wrong with it. You know, we see the ages of marriage over there and children being led away by bearded men because the family's been paid money, and you know, and you think that's all right. And it's like mixing oil and water here. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So what I always say to myself is like, how many people are going to suffer? You know what I mean? And you know, and that's why I do these videos. I do these videos as much as I can. I dig and research and try and get the truth and look into the reasons why these men behave like this and look into their culture and everything. And you know, I'm no Tommy Robinson, but I'm not trying to be Tommy Robinson. I'm just trying to be an Ulster man who's here to protect this country, just like I did in the 80s and the 90s. You know, only this time we're using microphones and social media. You know, so yeah, um, I'm the same man. I've never changed a bit. Not one part of me's ever changed, but our strategy has changed. That's what's changed with us. And you know, we're still waiting for a lot to get on board because of funding and the government paying a lot of money to a lot of people to keep them quiet. You know, but I have to give these guys respect because they could stop me. There's no doubt about it. I could be stopped. You know, and they're not going to stop me. Not going to help me, but they're not going to stop me. So I've got to respect that and acknowledge that and be grateful, you know. So, but guys, the funding's going to run out soon enough, you know. The money's going to run out soon enough, and then you'll see a difference. You'll see a difference in Ulster. The Ulster men and women, both Protestants and Catholics, will protect what we have. You know, there's going to be thousands and thousands of freedom dads. Where do you see? You know, I'm just the very start of it. You know, and not just me. I don't like sounding like I'm, you know, there's loads like me, but there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands very, very soon. Within the next year to 2 years, you're going to see something change in this country like you ain't seen before. And I can guarantee you there's not a Muslim or a foreigner anywhere in Europe that are going to make their way to Northern Ireland because it'll still be open. The government isn't going to stop them, you know. But I can assure you, they will not want to come here, you know. And just that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. And I'm not, you know, I'm peaceful, and you know, you don't need to be violent to make somewhere uncomfortable for people. You've just got to have the right laws in. No voting, no halal, you know, and certainly no Sharia, and certainly equal, if not more time for them, and houses for locals before them, you know, and waiting, less everything brutal and just locals and people that's born and bred, grannies and granddads who put money in from working hard into this country to build the foundations that we enjoy, get priority across the board, you know. And once we establish that, then they're going to go somewhere else where they can milk the system because that's the secret. Don't let them milk the system; they won't come, you know. And yeah, did you see my last comment? No, Seiko, stick it back up again, mate. I don't have anybody with me to read the comments out. Stick it back out. Copy and paste. I'm going to read your comments now. Go fire. Just don't go. No big comments. No big massive comments. Stop giving them benefits. There's loads of stuff we can do. You know what I mean? We've got to give them something, but you know, there's none of this fucking carry on and all that. You know, I saw it, and it's the cruel. It's the cruel to be kind. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, guys, they're traveling through lots of safe countries to get here, and we also know there's also 55 Muslim countries around the world. Why would they want to come here? They come here because they take the piss. You know, they can take the piss. And I noticed that there is more women on children there, and I noticed that there is more women on children coming. Cork, Southern Ireland's in a bad way, guys. Be raccoon, tut tut tut. Michelle, what is the name of the oil for that? You've got to be careful what we say, and so I've got to be careful what I say when so you can say what you want. Seagull, hey, I've just watched Alan from Mystic Media on live stream telling all his followers he has stage 4 cancer. Poor geezer. Fuck's sake, man, I need to jump on there. Fuck's sake. Sorry for us. Listen, guys, sorry for a lot of us, you know what I mean? We gotta, if you don't, it should be nobody is shocked these days whenever you get that kind of information. I've always said Ulster is our last stand. Local homes for local people, 100%, John. Cork is like a foreign country. Look at Donegal, guys. Donegal, I've got friends all over Ireland who report to me daily, Many guys on here. Window Man, John Downs, James Cahill, all from different parts of Ireland. All have bad, terrible stories to tell you, to tell me, I was looking at it today. It's like, I think it's 3 million a day on foreigners. 3 million a day. 2.5 million a day or something, you know what I mean? Don't know if I've got any guys that are up on the date. Let me just have a wee look for you. Guys in church will be rejoicing, not in pain. God bless. Keep looking for him no matter what. Prayers for you tomorrow. Thank you in the doghouse. Let me just have a wee bit of research. Oh, it's died. It's died. Can never charge it, did I? But if you look at it, guys, all you got to do, you can do all this yourselves. Just put in how much is Ireland spending on immigration per day. It's like, I think it's 3 billion, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna. It's over 3 billion a year. Billion. We're talking millions, not millions a day, guys. A day. This is what the Irish government are paying on immigrants. I'm Cork, well, Calais, just like the song. Strange my comment on show. It is strange, mate. It happened to me on whose channel was that? CJ. I think it's you that they're targeting, because that's what I felt. I felt as if it was me, and it was coming up. I'm sure it was coming up on the phone, but it wasn't coming up on the screen. It was coming up on my phone, but it wasn't coming up on the screen so everyone else could see it. And that's just for starters. But nobody's doing anything. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing anything. All the moderators are saying is a pound. Makes a change. Nobody usually wants come here. To be honest, it's a shithole. Millions and millions a day. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me just find out how much it is on interpreters. Fucking hell. So, over 5 years, it's over 200 million for interpreters in the NHS. 18. Oh, fuck's sake, man! I'm not great with restoring information right now, guys. Is it 18 million on benefits? I'll get the stats. I'm gonna have to do a video about it. because I haven't done a video on these stats in a wee while. But like I say, the stats are there for you to look at. You can research it. The information's out there. You've just got to do a wee bit of homework. Not one person has been timed out yet. Oh, good. Happy days. John Rankin, I've been on and off because I'm still out. Wee bit bunkers. Good to see wee bit bunkers. Beat Raccoon. You can double that with this Irish language madness. You know, like I say, the Irish language thing is a division thing. It's to divide us, it's to keep us all fucking fighting with each other so we don't come together for this. You know, this is what we should be talking about. Everybody in Northern Ireland should be talking about these kind of figures, how much money that we're putting out because of mass immigration. Okay. Um, Dealing with the reasons why they're saying about mass immigration, they're saying that our population is shrinking, so we need to address that, which can be addressed. You know, everything can be addressed. You know, yet there's still time for me. LOL. Good one. Um, but yeah, like I say, everything can be addressed. They say, "Oh, you're not having enough children." Yeah, we're not having enough children because we're in the middle of the highest cost of living, and you push abortions, you push LGBTQ in schools. You know, and this is not against the LGBTQ, but there has to be, you know, like I say, something's changed. Something's changed from when we were young to today, and the only change that I can see is that the ideas getting put in the children's heads. You know, it's like anything in life. You know, if children are very influential and by giving them ideas, and but they're like sponges. You know what I mean? And they will explore and experiment. And I don't know. You know what I mean? I haven't really went into it too deeply. It's a very touchy subject because I have a lot of respect for homosexuals and transvestites, and I understand that there's boys that are born in girls' bodies and vice versa, and I get that, you know what I mean. But I also think that it's it's not handled right. You know what? I think it's too much, too quick. You know, there's that, and there's the teacup. You know, the abortion. You know, I mean, Muslims don't do none of this. They don't do that, and that's why they're having more children, and that's why there's going to be a problem in the future. If you bring these type of people in, and we are not having children, and they're having loads of children, then you don't even need to do the math. You just know what the outcome is. You know what I mean? And you know, and, at the end of the day, is that what the plan is? Is that what they want? I've jumped back to start playing at 175 speed to catch up. Freedom Dad sounds somber tonight. Yeah, it's a bit somber. I'll let you catch up, mate. I'll let you catch up. But yeah, like I say, guys, do your research. You know, put in the numbers. You know, ask, look, Google it, grok it, whatever. AI. You know, how much is Ireland paying on interpreters in NHS or in Britain or Northern Ireland? The figures are there. You know, how much are we paying on hotels for whatever area you're in or whatever country you're in? You can do it. You will get the figures. They probably won't be truthful figures, but they'll be damning enough. They'll be damning enough. You know. Um, so yeah, John McCrook, he stopped me in schools because of one child. Oh, he's yeah, at the end of the day, guys, the thing about the schools as well, you know what I mean? It is bad. You know, it is bad. The whole concept of what Enoch Burke has went through. Um, it's heartbreaking for the man. You know what I mean? I'm hoping soon when I get a chance because I'm inundated with stuff. I really am. I've got stuff coming into my ears. I've got people sending me stuff. I've got content to come out. I've got stuff from Kendo. I've got stuff from Mark. The Londoner boy, he's sent me some amazing stuff that I have to get out. You know what I mean? He sent me videos of London before and London today. You know, he's actually went round and video stuff for me, and I've got to get it out there. So I've got to get that done. I've got a video coming out tomorrow. It's very important to me. I've been working on all day, and I was actually in the doctor's surgery, screen recording. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've got loads and loads of stuff. I've got content coming in my ears, which is good because if everything does go wrong tomorrow, and I do find that I need to maybe take a bit of time downtime, then I can sit and get all this content down. I don't need to be standing out in the rain. I don't need to be standing at hotels. I don't need to be standing at HMOs. I don't need to be standing at Mosley Mills. Sinn Féin will be happy, you know what I mean? They'll be happy I'm not there. But I, the content that I could bring will be amazing, because it's there. I know what's there. I know what's in my head. And yeah, it's going to be relevant. It's going to be eye opening, and it's going to be awakening for so many people. You know what I mean? And even if I only awaken one person every video, because that's all that matters. If you watch a video and you go, "Fuck's sake, man, that's bang on," and or that's didn't know that, and you say to your mate, "Check that out." I don't care if they subscribe. I don't care if they like it. I just want them to check it out. It's like I said. I put a video up on Facebook a day, and it goes to them. I don't get any money. I do not make any money from you watching this video. So if you take the 8 minutes to watch it, it will be more valuable to you than me. And it's true. That's the way I look at it. I don't get no money from it. I put these videos out on YouTube, what I mean? But I've got 100,000 views on a video 2 days ago, I've got nearly 100,000 views on a fucking photograph that I put out yesterday of me, Glenn Kane, Pinky, and Stevie Baker. It's 200,000 views in fucking 24 hours, more than less, you know what I mean? All my videos are hitting 20,000, 40,000 views. Easy, easy. And like I say, I feel good. I feel good that, I can say that, I don't make nothing from this. You don't have to watch my video thinking if I watch this video, I'm going to make him money. You're not making me money. My videos are more valuable to use than they are to me. And that's the most important thing. And what I'm so proud about, that my videos are more valuable to the people that watch them than they are to me. Obviously, they are valuable to me. I love making them and I'm proud of them. But awakening somebody and then passing them videos on, and the shares that I get and the comments that they put down, even the haters, they get the algorithm. Every comment pushes the algorithm out. It pushes it on to somebody else. Knock yourselves out. That's what I always say to the guys. If you want to throw the hate down, throw the hate down. Quite a lot of time, everybody else gets on top of it and gives them a hard time. I don't even need to do anything. But yeah, the internet is forever. Yeah. Do we know where they are coming in? Yeah, they're coming through Britain, guys. Come on, Ireland's got its own thing going on, and you have seen the video in the HMO of the clip. I put a wee clip out today with he's in it, the Syrian guy. He flew straight into Belfast. He flew into Belfast City Airport. This is what I've been trying to tell you for so long, and I was so glad for him to say it, because it's easy for me to sit here and go, listen, guys, it's not just about the boats. The boats is a distraction. They're flying in, they're coming in this way, that way, and every other way. And then all of a sudden, man, we've got a Syrian refugee, and he's telling us, yes, he's travelled through all these countries, and he flew straight into Belfast City Airport. And he was like, I was like, so did they give you a refuge? Because I said to him, like, why do you not stay in these other countries? Because they wouldn't give me refuge. I was like, okay. So then he says he came in the Northern Ireland. So we accepted you. He goes, no, you haven't accepted me yet. So I'm like, have you heard of anybody being returned? He's like, no, hear me. So you're gonna get accepted. And I said, how long have you been here? He's like, a year and 6 months, year and a half, say. So I was like, so you never got accepted in these other countries and you waited a year and a half. Now you're in Northern Ireland, you're waiting a year and a half, but you're staying here. You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense, does it? So yeah, he flew into Belfast City Airport, supposedly with a passport, and then asked for asylum when he got to Belfast. And he's now in an HMO, a lovely wee flat that I would love, quite a lot of single men and guys that are homeless would love to have. And he's sitting in a really nice single flat, doing okay for himself. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's where we're at. And it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Just he didn't want to stay in France because he was waiting too long. He didn't want to stay in Germany because he was waiting too long. And the other countries, Spain, Italy, I don't know, Belgium, I don't know how many countries he went through in total. But he didn't stay there because he was, they weren't giving him citizenship quick enough. So if we don't give him citizenship quick enough, is he going to go somewhere else? Of course he's not. He's staying here. That's what he said. He said, if I had a new Northern Ireland was so good, I would have flew straight here. That's what he said. It's not scary, innit? So he's telling all his mates now in Syria how good Northern Ireland is. You see? This is the problem we've got. This is what I'm talking about. How we stop it. He's telling all his mates that we're so nice people, we're so full of empathy and so kind, that his mates will be coming straight from Syria, straight into Belfast City Airport and going, I want to stay here. I want asylum. And that's how easy it is. You will have everybody from every part of the country flying straight into both our airports, international and the city, asking for asylum because they know they'll be stuck in their lovely house in a really nice part of Newton Abbey, because he's seen it was a really nice leafy suburb. You know, it was a really nice area. This wasn't East Belfast or South Belfast, the Village or the Shankill or Sandy Row. This was a nice area, Newton Abbey, guys. You know what I mean? When we talk about leafy suburbs, big high-rise hedges and all that, this is where this guy landed, you know. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the 5 men in that room and every 5 men in the other 10 plus rooms in that building will be all telling another 5 men each, in whatever the country they come from, this is what you do. Fly straight to Belfast City Airport, tell me you want refuge, and the rest is easy peasy. So yeah, it's not like it's when I tell you is it like that, when like I don't understand how any official or anybody in social work can sit and say, "Freedom Dad, you're a hater, you're a far right, you're racist," because you know why? Because I don't think that's right. Because I think there's something just not right with that. You know, come on, guys. Fucking look, people have got to get real. When are people going to get real? Because you know this fucking unrealistic attitude from these woke lefties is going to destroy everything we know, and there's going to be nothing that resembles anything that we know in the future for our children or our grandchildren, and it will become an Islamic State. You know, I asked him what religion are you. He didn't want to tell me. That told me everything. You know, that fucking told me everything. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. The only religion I feel that doesn't want to tell you who they are is Muslims. You know what I mean? But like I said, it takes me to my video tomorrow. Interesting video, very controversial video. You know, as always, my videos are quite controversial, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sweden and Italy and Germany have stopped giving them benefits. You know, it's fucking too late. What do you think that means for us, Ivan? I'll let you answer that, mate. So Sweden, Italy, and Germany, you know why they're all doing it? They're all rushing to do it before we do it. What happens when everybody else, like what I want to do here, because they're not coming here if they're not getting what they want, they're going to go elsewhere. So where do you think the ones in Germany, Sweden, and Belgium are going to go? They're going to come here. That's what they're doing there. They're no forcing them out. They're no putting them out. They're making sure they don't want to stay. They're making sure they don't want to go there in the first place. And that's the secret, you know. And it's a bit of an awakening for patriots as well, to be honest with you. Like, it's like the fucking penny has dropped for us guys, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, everybody's okay, guys. I'm out. Thanks, Freedom Dad. Thank you so much, Alan. Yeah, you know, we've been watching Tommy Robinson and the guys all over there doing all these protests and these 2 million people going to demos and everything else and all this and standing outside hotels and all the rest of it. And, you know, then all of a sudden we realize, hold on a minute, why don't we just not make the country so they don't want to come here? Because obviously the government isn't going to stop them, you know. So, yeah, that takes many guys, and it is what it is. You know, like I say, there's no room for empathy. There's no room for pity. You know, like I say as well, you know, and I'll stick by it. You know, when the Gaza kids and all that, you know, people, they use all this to make us feel as if, you know, they open the door, oh, we're bringing Gaza children over that need hospital treatment. Why? You know, why? We've got rows and rows of ambulances sitting outside our hospitals. We've got the most vulnerable people lying in ambulances, waiting hours just to get in to the hospital. And then they're in corridors. You know, then you got people dying because they're not getting operations. You got children waiting for all sorts of operations. You're going to bring somebody from another country to take the place of one of our kids and put our children at risk when you got so many countries around the world that are so much better off, like Dubai, like Qatar, like Saudi Arabia, like Egypt. Come on, guys. You know, it's not being hateful or cruel or unkind. It's about fucking saying, no, we're not fucking that stupid. You know, we're not daft, you know, and that's what it's about, guys. It's you know, it's easy for them to go, oh, he doesn't want Gaza kids to come over and get hospital treatment. I'm not saying that. I want them to get hospital treatment, but this isn't the place. I want my kids to get hospital treatment. I want our kids. I want our elderly. I want our infirm to get the treatment that they deserve. That's all I want. I want an NHS that works where people aren't dying waiting on operations. Like, Google that, research that. How many people are being failed? How many people aren't getting the operations that they need because there's no room? There's not enough surgeries. There's not enough surgeons because we're overwhelmed. We're overwhelmed, you know. And yeah, guys, it's not hateful, it's common sense, and it breaks my heart and makes me so angry that it's left in me to talk like this, and because you got to have no fear. You got to be not afraid of prison. You got to be not afraid of being called far right. You got to be brave to do this, Um, and I can only do it because of the upbringing I've had. I've been in care, been abused, I've been fucked over by the system over and over again. Social work let me down over and over again. I was fostered into a farm where it was a slave labor where they were just fostering kids to work. You know what I mean? I was allowed to tattoo myself at 9, 10 years old. Nobody cared. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was put in with criminals at 10 years old when I hadn't committed a crime. I met my best friends in life, and I had an amazing life, but I was failed time and time again by the government, you know, over and over again by the authorities. So I have first-hand experience of this kind of thing, and if anybody's got the right to speak about this, it's me, you know, and you know what I suffered as a child. My broken childhood was worth £40,000 to the government. That's what it was worth. That was my compensation. You know, being abused in two children's homes and being put in with being treated as a criminal just because I wasn't going to school. Never committed a crime or broke the law, and I was in with all the kids from Belfast who were in for crimes and breaking the law. You know what I mean? And there was only one road I was going down after that because they were my friends. You know what I mean? They were my mates. It was one big massive training school. You know what I mean? And yeah, I was always quite young looking, quite small, and the older boys always looked after me, and I was never ever harmed by these men. Never harmed by the men on the streets. You know what I mean? It was whilst under the care where I was harmed. You know what I mean? So yeah, and there's many, many like me. Many a lot worse than me. All been failed by the government. So yeah, this is my kickback. Okay, this is my kickback. This is my way of fighting back the government. Yes, got to axe the grind. Yes, got a chip on my shoulder. So what? So what? You know, but always going to take somebody like me to do it. You know what I mean, guys? So, are the a time limit on comments? Are there a time limit on comments? I don't know. See, like I'll tell you right now. YouTube is destroying my channel. Not destroying it, but as you all know, I have not budged off 15,660 or 600 odds in fucking months and months and months. You know what I mean? And we all know that the channel has been growing and growing and growing, and then just stopped. Okay, so they're not letting people subscribe. You know what I mean? The videos are getting reasonable amounts of views. You know what I mean? They're not getting put out. Excuse me, like others. And I know Dino Bain, he's spoke about this and he started other channels and up because of it. And there's probably actions I can take. But Freedom Dad, when I put up a comment about Mystic Media, I hadn't heard your news. Got it, mate? That's all right, bro. No, don't be gutted yet. Fucking don't be gutted yet. Let's get tomorrow over. Focus on yourself, the bigger picture you're doing. Thank you, mate. Good evening, Soros. Sheepdog, my comments say illegal argument. But yeah, guys, like I say, I've got a couple of battles on here, so I do, and I have been doing all this. You do not know what I've been doing, and yeah, I've got to be very careful what I say. But believe you me, I have never reached out or fought so hard for something in my life. The people that I'm reaching out to, and the stuff, the time I'm spending. I've got 3 phones with messages on them all. Every message for the last fucking 5 year, everything. Having to put them all into screenshots, screen records, document them in the files, and get them put on hard drives, and it's like non-stop, non-stop. Not getting sleep because it's all the stuff I'm reading and going through. It brings a lot of memories back, of when the baby was getting born, and how good things were, and just seeing where everything went wrong, and breaking it all down in my head, and looking at it like as you would, because it all needs to be looked at exactly what's going on and what's happened. And it brings up, it's difficult, you know what I mean? It is difficult, you know what I mean? You know, you got to understand, I've got no hatred from my baby's mama. It's far from it. And I've went this far, you know what I mean, and put up with so much, and it was just putting my money into that guy's account and finding out who he was. That was the killer for me, and that's when I realised something was wrong, guys. And that's it. And still got my love in my heart. There's no two ways about it for both of them. Without a doubt. I'm never going to deny that. But just like immigration, you got to be cruel to be kind, and I've got to put all my emotions out of the way now and focus on one thing, and that's Lucky, my wee girl. Everything's now on her safety. Um, until I can be assured otherwise. And I'm not being assured otherwise. There's no contact whatsoever now. All gone completely. So sort of in the dark as far as how they feel, not in the dark as far as my daughter, because that's a different ball game. I know I've got everything in place and got eyes on and everything. But as far as how they feel and what they're thinking and everything, nothing. I have no clue. So, but that's okay. I can live with that. Um, just got to go through different avenues now, and I have been pushed in the corner, guys. This is not something I wanted to do. You've made it clear how I felt, and everything has an open book. This is as I say, this is about the life of a boy brought up in the streets of Belfast. That's what it says in my bio, and it's never going to change. And I'll never name anybody. I mean, Lucky's not a real name, obviously, and it's about my life and what I go through. And I didn't see this coming. I didn't ever think I'd be talking about this. Um, yeah, it's this has been the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my head, because I've never worried about anybody in my life but myself, and I didn't really care about myself half the time. So, I've never had a family member. You know what I mean? Um, I had my wife, lost her. Loved her. She was my love. As you can imagine, I married her. It's the only person I've ever married, only person I've been engaged to. But yeah, so Lucky is the only family I've got in the whole world, as you can imagine. So you can imagine what that feels like for me. And I don't have the support of uncles or dads or anybody else around me, so I've got to do something on my own, to stand on my own in the face of what they think is whatever they think, you know what I mean? But yeah, you can imagine what it's like. You can imagine the extra work I have to put in, you know what I mean? So I am doing it, and I am sort of, like I say, I'm dealing with this stuff with tomorrow. When I get the test results, like I say, I'm feeling good, no pain, all gone. Deep breaths, tiny wee, maybe, I don't know, but nothing, nowhere near. You know what I mean? Coughing and all, no problem. So like something's happened, guys. Something's changed in the last 3 days that I cannot explain. Tomorrow we'll know everything. No doubt it'll be in the papers on Sunday. If it comes out that I have, they'll not miss that, obviously. Um, probably have my say, I mean, no doubt reporters will contact me. So I will speak to them, you know what I mean, if they're, rather than put, I've got to deal with these guys now. I've been dealing with the, as you know, the amount of times that I've been in the papers and all the stuff they put in about me being related to Shango Butchers and talking about the Dublin bombings and all this, all mad stuff that fucking really put me in danger. You know what I mean? So, we've got to get the story straight. We've got to start, like, because at first I didn't want to communicate, and they kept running with the same stuff, and I couldn't sue them. Everybody's saying, "Sue them, you're nobody's your uncle. You've never had an uncle," and I'm like, I know, but it was very dangerous for me, especially going down to Dublin. But you can't sue these guys, you know what I mean? You need a lot of money to sue them. You can't get legal aid. This is the thing. You cannot get legal aid to sue the papers. You need to be very, very rich. So it was, had to communicate, put them straight, you know what I mean? And yeah, I probably will, um, like I say, give my side of the story across from now on rather than write their own narrative. I think that's the best way to go forward. We have talked about it as patriots, and it's not something I do off my own bat, but I think there's a time in life, I've always said, don't talk to the papers, don't talk to the papers, we don't talk to the media, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I talk to YouTube, I'll talk to anybody that wants to interview me. But when it gets dangerous, when they run every week and every fortnight, I think I've been in the papers more than any paramilitary, any more than Johnny Adair, I think, at this stage, you know what I mean? In such a short space of time. Um, and like that's unprecedented, a wee orphan from fucking South Belfast is hitting the headlines and front pages and double spreads, fucking in all the papers, Irish News, the News of the World, the Life, and all because of what I tell you. You know what I mean? So yeah, over the target. They're terrified. They want to shut me up. They thought doing that would have shut me up. Calling me like they run me the MI5 agent for donkeys, thinking that would have got me unalived. And people in the community went, oh, we're not listening to him. He's an MI5 agent, thinking somebody would have just popped me off. You know what I mean? But I'm lucky. What they didn't realize that the community already knew about all that, and they if they had a fucking looked into it and spoke to me and took the time out, you know what I mean, then they would have realized they were barking up the wrong tree. But at the end of the day, they're not going to stop. There's always going to be something. They're always going to try something, and yeah. But at the end of the day, I've got my say now. I've got a good relationship. I believe. You know what I mean. We're as a journalist myself, you know what I mean? I think it's only fair that they treat me they give me a right to reply and give me a chance to give them, say my side if they're going to run me anything. Because there has been a couple of things that they were going to run with, and I'm like, come on, man, really? You're going with that? For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? And, people in the past who have fucking, I fell out, I've done videos, I don't like mentioning his name. I am doing a big video on the party that he's in, and I'm going to expose the party. And as a journalist, as somebody who trusts my word, I'm going to come at them hard, and because, like I say, he's going to bring me down, so I'm going to show him how to do it properly. So yeah, he's been plodding away trying to get fucking a lot of just lies, absolute bullshit about just everything that I've been going through, and all the nonsense. I'm not going to even mention one of the demos where all the bullshit about me fucking bringing somebody over from Scotland and fucking that's nonsense, just made up stuff that you can't even. You're just looking at them like, what? Everybody around me is going, what? What the fuck? You know what I mean? Just mad, crazy stories that aren't even damning. You don't even care. Somebody that out of many people, 13,000 people on my Facebook, and somebody's Iranian, and fucking he's one of my followers, and it's my fault. You know what I mean? He's my mate because he's one of the 13,000 followers, and they really fucking go for it. Like this, it's got a funny snap. It's also fucking, but this is obviously I believe it was the state involved, and it was pushed by a certain few people, and they were all being told to do it, and then this like this other guy's like he's fucking just a wee bit late on the uptake, and he's found out about it months later and went running to the newspapers thinking it was new news, you know what I mean? And they've contacted me, and I'm like, come on, man, really? That's fucking like 3 months old, that stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the kind of thing I got to deal with, you know what I mean? And but like I say, I've got the right to reply, and I am who I am. I've got 55 years of experience, 55 years of friends, 55 years of ex-girlfriends who will all speak up for me anytime I need. I've never done a bad thing to anybody. It's good. I've never touted, I've never been disloyal, I've never bumped anybody for a penny. You know what I mean? You can't make it up, like, you know what I mean? I'm fucking squeaky clean when it comes to this. And yeah, and that's, you can only do this. Please believe me, you can't. You can only do this if you know this about yourself and you trust yourself, guys. So I've rabbited on enough, I think. They won't allow literary quotes. Literary quote. Hello, just home, Stephen Hall. I'm going to wrap it up, guys. It is 5 to 10. I have got some phone calls still to make, and 10 o'clock we're going to make a phone call to Scotland, and I've got to look for somebody as well on Facebook. Content they are playing about with the comments tonight for sure. Never seen it like this before. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I wonder why that is. Oh, do you think it's because we're talking about the big C? What have we been talking about? That could be it, guys. That could be it. If you are talking about anything to do with that and talking about any other remedies apart from what the government recommend, then that could be a problem. Sheepdog, your comments aren't banned. Patriotic media, none of them. Honestly, guys, my moderators don't even ban the trolls. We had a clown on the other day that who I know now knew who it was and think he's being smart, but I will deal with that in due course. But yeah, sometimes people get through on fake names who I know and or think they're being smart, but I don't know. I catch them out. I've caught them out. There's a few now I've caught out. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it is. You're just used to it. I suppose you're used to your community. You know what I mean, guys? You're used to the high the rule. you know, and they can't help themselves because they hate me that much. They just can't. They fucking can't help themselves. And as soon as you catch it straight away, like even John Rankin was on it. John Rankin was on it, I think, before me. You know what I mean? He phoned me up the next day and goes, there was something wrong about him. John Rankin's good. Like, he is good. Not us, Sheepdog, definitely on YouTube. Sheepdog, 100%, mate. Well, I promise you. Like I say, guys, my platform does not get the luxury of being promoted like other platforms. And I'm quite happy. You know what I mean? That's why I never complain to YouTube, or I never, because like you can look at what you're doing wrong and see how you can change your style to promote. You know, you can't do it, but I don't. I just do whatever I do. I keep doing what I'm doing. I make sure I don't tell any lies. I make sure I do my research, and I make sure I bring anything as my opinion. And if I am in a bit of cloud somewhere, a bit of mist, then it's for entertainment and educational purposes only, and their opinions of me, a young man brought up in Belfast. Galloway Waiter, we're just wrapping up, mate. So we are. Just had a great dinner on an amazing patriot. To me, very close to me. The Freedom Dad team, big steak. You know what I mean? You got to admit, we don't get steak much these days, guys. You know what I mean? And big steak and big chunky chips, peas, gravy, mushrooms. Oh, dynamite, guys, dynamite. And I'm sorry if some of you are hungry and you don't have food, or you are struggling right now. I do apologize for that. Um, because I know not everybody is in a good place right now. But yeah, listen, I deserve it. I fucking deserve it right now. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Going to get a wee coffee, and then I'm going to retire and make some phone calls and emails, and I need to put things in files. I need to fucking. It's really hard work. It is really, really hard work. And I'm doing it on my own because I don't want anybody else getting involved in this party. It's all got to be me because I understand everything. Before, like I say, I'm got a lawyer, and I've got other professionals, and it's just putting everything down and make sure everything's done right. You know what I mean? And I've got to make a phone call because there's a couple of other things that I didn't know about till the day that I can that's there that I can use. Keep her lit, Freedom Dad. Cheers, guys. I'm putting my steak on the barbecue in a couple of more hours. Good on you, Don Carter. Cheers, Freedom God. Good luck for tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Yes, like I say, I don't want you stressing, and I mean this genuinely on my heart. I'm not gonna do anything like on my mother's grave, right? I promise you, I am so. I don't know what's the word. It's difficult in it. Comfortable, relaxed. You know, like I say, um, in my head, everything's right with God. I've always had faith. Everywhere I've went, every jail, every situation I've been in, I've always had faith. I'm a different type of Christian, what people are used to. I swear. You know what I mean? I don't believe that God decided what swear words were. I believe swearing is just speech. It's expression. It's a form of expression of anger, frustration. I believe you're allowed to be angry and frustrated. But the main thing is you never lose your faith. This is the important thing. This is what's important. And I was talking to in the doghouse the other day about it. We had a good chat, and we were traveling in the car somewhere, and we had a good chat, and we were just talking about faith, and we were saying, like, talking about the Bible and talking about the Ten Commandments. I'll just quickly run this by you about the Ten Commandments. And I'm not too sure about the Ten Commandments because I think they're social policies, and I think they were threw in there along with the Word of God because everybody was going mental back in the day, and they needed some sort of order, like social policy. This is the law. You know what I mean? And we were talking about, like, what is it to be a Christian? Everybody's got different ideas, and how do you get to heaven? And it's as simple as this. We were talking about, like, um, this is important for you guys if you are into this. Just if you are any doubt, or if you don't think, if you're a good person, you don't think you lead yourself away in a Christian life, and you don't read the Bible, or you don't go to church, but you're a good person inside. So this is for you guys. So a lot of people say, like, well, if there's a God, why does 9/11 happen? If there's a God, why does all them kids, all them bad things happen to kids? And what I keep saying to people is this: if God was to come down and show Himself and say, "I'm God, and this is heaven, and this is hell," people would look at hell and go, "Fuck that." and they would not do nothing wrong because they do not want to go there because that is hell. Okay, so there's what's the point? This is the whole point. This where we are right now is based on faith. You have to decide who you are and what you're going to do while you're on this planet. Now you can make mistakes, you can do bad things. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Society and life throws up lots of things: grief, trauma, abuse. There's lots of things that will test you, but you always go back, no matter what. You don't cross certain lines, but you always go back. You go back to God, you go back to faith. And this is what it's all about. It's about faith. That's why God doesn't come down. That's why you see bad things happening, because you're being tested. You know, you see something bad happening and you go, if there's a God, why is that happening? It's happening because there is a God. That's why it's happening. It's to test your faith. And these people that are saying that, they're failing. Okay. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Maybe an easy way to cop out, being able to swear and all the rest of it. But it's what you think. It's in here. It's not anywhere else. It's not up here. Like I say, that's the wee brother. This is who you are. That stays. That goes. That this goes with you. That stays behind. This is created by society. This is created by God, and it's down to you how you lead your life. You can either be nasty, nice, deceitful. Um, you can be all the deadly sins, or you can lead your life in a decent humanitarian way with love and no hatred. And it's with this love, like people say about the Christianity and about like, oh, Christians should give love to every man. I agree, but we have to be realistic in the world that we're in. We are not. We are living in a real world where real things are happening, and even though we have faith in God, we also have to try and protect. We just don't lie back and go, you know what? I'm a lover. I'm not a hater, and I'm going to bring all these men in. And I know there's out of these 20 men I'm bringing in the house with my children, I know about 5 of them are really bad men. And they're going to do terrible things to my children, but because I'm such a good person, I can't stop all these people. Ridiculous, ridiculous. God does not expect you to put your own children at harm just to be kind. So, and it's not like these men have got nowhere else to go. It's not like you're putting them out on the street, guys. This is what you got to remember. We're not, these guys, it's not where this is their last hope. It would be totally different if that was the case. A man comes to your door, it's pissing in the rain, doesn't matter what, you're going to bring him in, you're going to dry him, you're going to feed him, you're going to keep him warm, and then you're going to get him somewhere to stay. Okay? If you don't want him to stay with you, you're going to find him somewhere else. You know what I mean? But these guys have got plenty of houses in the street that they can go to that are already empty, that are already available. So why are they coming to your house? Why are they coming to your house? Why are they coming to our house? And that's the thing. It's not being unchristian to say no, because there is other places. If there was nowhere else left in the world and it was only Northern Ireland, it'd be a different ball game. You know what I mean? So never let anybody say about the Christian way and try and hold it against you because of your beliefs of mass immigration. Do not let empathy ruin yourself, your country, or the future of your children. That's me, guys. My wee bit said, and I've put that in there because of what I'm going through and because of the faith I have and what's happened to me in the last 3 days and the recovery that I've went through. It's amazing, and hopefully tomorrow we'll tell a story. Okay, so thank you, Jamesy K. Thank you, guys. To stop people's free speech, Seco internet is heavily attacked in this country. Almost, yeah, 100%. Yeah, we have a problem, but let's not complain because we're doing no too bad right now compared to 15 years ago. So let's not complain too much, guys. We are lucky enough. You are lucky enough to hear Freedom Dad, and like I say, I'll always be here. Like I've always said, they take me off here, I'll be on the streets. I'll be on the streets. You know what I mean? I'll be preaching exactly what I'm preaching out on the streets, and I'll not stop. Nobody's going to stop me, and yeah. Wish me luck tomorrow, guys. I'm going to say good night. And thank you to my moderators. Thank you, Galway Raider, Sheepdog. I'm sorry, Sheepdog, you've had a bit of problems with the comments. I'm sorry I haven't read all your comments. Quintona, Don Carter, Stevie Hall, James Cahill, Window Man, all you guys, Patriotic Media, thank you so much. In the Doghouse, thank you so much, mate. I owe you so much, bro. You are a shining star in my life right now. Um, you know, Sometimes I think being around you, bro, is enough. Just having you close again is makes people, it makes anybody feel like they're on the right path, and makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. So thank you for being such a good friend. Guy Belfast, never give up. Never will, mate. Thank you for that. Listen, Dory, BG, at 404, thank you so much. Seagull, thanks for coming in a bit later, as always, but you always catch up. And thank you so much, community. You're an amazing community. 99 in, that's fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? That's brilliant. I'm glad 99 years have caught that last wee bit because it's important to me. Remember, keep your faith, guys. You don't have to, it's we don't live in the Old Testament days. You know what I mean? It is God's it within you. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. Just stay true to yourself, and don't hurt anybody. Don't be unkind. Don't be cruel, and protect yourselves. Don't let anybody walk over you, and always defend yourself, your religion, and your children. That's all God wants. You know what I mean? He doesn't want you to be walked over, guys. With the Crusaders, nobody walked over them, and they were Christian men. So remember that. So from here, from where I am, a secret location in Northern Ireland. Peter Media, all my love. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. I haven't forgot about what you've done and everything. I know you might think of taking things for granted, but I'm really not. I'm between a rock and a hard place right now, and I haven't forgotten. I will never forget going forward, no matter what the outcome is. And for many years to come, I will never forget this, Patriotic Media, how good you've been to me. Yeah, and shout out to all the Patriots. Shout out to Caitlin, you know what I mean? Caitlin, Sarah, and all the team down in Bangor, and obviously Pinky, EBFD, and all the boys in East Belfast. Thank you to the Newton Abbey guys, the Patriots, the Newton Abbey concerned parents. Thank you so much, guys. You are fucking, honestly, guys, don't know what to do without you. Thank you to Ballymena, Shankill, East Belfast, South Belfast, Sandy Row. Big shout out to Sandy Row boys who's been there for me, you know what I mean? Racy, all my love, my brother, you know what I mean? And the village, I love you guys, you know what I mean? But we're losing it. We're losing the village, guys. We are losing the village. And Northern Ireland against immigration, he's holding out down there for a play, brother. And thank you for everything you do. Porterdown, Lurgan, you guys, you know who you are. Cold Rain, we're coming to you soon. Thank you for everything you are doing and organising down there right now. Thank you so much. And I have to keep saying thank you to these guys, for everybody. It's taking a part. Thank you, Stevie Baker, Glenn Kane, and like I've said, Pinky as well. We were all together the other day, put the photograph up, nearly 100,000 views. Can't make it up, you know what I mean? And, thank you to Robin for the Pink Ladies. Everybody's playing their part, and there's so many of us now, and it's so amazing, and I'm so happy and relaxed. I really am. I say, at the very start, it was like I felt as if I had a weight on my shoulders, and you know what I mean. And Stevie was doing stuff back in the day, but I was a front runner with all this, and started. It's Lindsay, and not to get away from Lindsay. Geez, oh man, Lindsay, she's concerned parents, Newton Abbey, like of course, but Lindsay was doing the time they rise. So her and Orla, I walked into that, you know what I mean, sort of thing. They didn't really know me, weren't too sure about me. It was all over the papers. I was looking for MI5, so that was difficult for them to deal with, you know what I mean? And that was what it was like. It was really hard for me. And I took some really big chances, and not many men would have done what I did under the circumstances of what was being wrote about me. And a lot of people that didn't like me were spreading these lies and saying everything and making it worse for me. So it was very difficult for me at the start. So I am so happy to be where I am today, to have so many people on board and to have such a massive network in Northern Ireland of Patriots. And it is fucking amazing, because I know if anything ever happens to me, I'm going to be reassured that all my words are going to carry on, and with thunder. These guys will take the banner and raise it a lot higher than I have, and a lot more men will follow as we go forward. So yeah, I'm a proud man. I know my daughter one day will hopefully find all these videos and know about Freedom Dad. Freedom Dad was her dad, and what Freedom Dad's done. And like I say, Enoch Powell was right. Pastor McConnell was right. I'm not gonna say it because I offends too many people. But Billy was right. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But it's me. It's who I am, and these are my beliefs. You know what I mean? And a big shout out to Glenn Kane, Mr. X, who has been doing this for many, many years, double figures in the 12, 13, 14 years, standing on his own. You know what I mean? And not having the platform like me, or having able to speak like me, or be able, hasn't. But he was down. I've picked him up. you know, and I've brought him along with me, and he's going to soar like an eagle now. So big up Glen Kane, proud of him. I love him so much. I love him so much for everything he's done, because he is an unsung hero, and he's took so much flack in the past because he's been doing this for so long. And if you think it's hard now, imagine 14 years ago. Listen, guys, all my love, and as always,